My name is Howard Berry. I'm the father of the late Staff Sergeant Joshua Berry. My son died of wounds that were sustained during the first Fort Hood shooting. You won't find Josh listed among the killed or the wounded. He didn't exist. The Army forgot about him. As 2016 approaches and we prepare to elect our next commander-in-chief, yeah, it just come to mind that there's an awful lot of people that feel they have what it takes to sit in the White House. And I decided that I'm going to reach out and ask them the questions that are near and dear to me. A lot of questions that have to do with veterans and veterans issues. And I like to know what they think about this. So I've been putting out some YouTubes. These questions are for Bobby Jindal. Mr. Jindal, do you think that the first Fort Hood shooting was handled correctly? Do you think the men and women that were victims there, do you think that they got the justice that they deserved? The fact that they classified this a random act of violence in the workplace and later amended it to a case of violent homegrown extremism. Do you think it? I believe that they just sat around and played Scrabble with the truth, sir. I don't think that they ever did get it right, and I'd like to know what your thoughts are on that. I'd also like to know what your thoughts are on veteran suicide. Currently, 23 men and women a day are completing suicide, and I'd like to know what your thoughts are, sir. Do you think that the number 23 is too high? Do you think that would keep you up at night? I know it does me. I honestly believe that one is too many, sir, and I'd like to know what your thoughts are on that. We can do a better job. I'd also like to know what your thoughts are on the VA. Do you think that the VA is an agency that is so badly broken that it needs to be scrapped? Or do you think at some point they may turn the corner and start doing what they're supposed to do, which is take care of veterans? I'd like to know what your thoughts are on this, as a lot of Americans would too. These issues aren't being brought up, and I believe that they are very, very debatable. I'd also like to know what your thoughts are on where vets should be in the pecking order. Currently, a lot of Americans are suffering, and I'd like to know what you think about that. Do you think that these folks should be upfront? Do you think that vets should get what they need, or do you think that they should just fall wherever they do? And I think it's very important. I'd like to know what your thoughts are on that. I see a lot of people that are falling through the cracks, and they're not getting what they need. So these men and women that many of whom deployed multiple times, folks that volunteered to defend our freedom. I'd like to know what you think about that. This is very debatable, and I honestly believe it just needs to be brought up in a public forum and discussed, and let the American people decide. Whether or not uh, I think the nomination is gonna hinge on what the vets think. Who's gonna get the nomination? At this point, I don't know. I just decided I'm gonna reach out to each and every person and see what they think. What are your thoughts on bringing back the draft? I think that each and every American should have an opportunity to lose a loved one, as I did. You know, uh, we get into uh, these wars, and we don't. We just keep asking the same people to go back over and over and over again. And I'd like to know what your thoughts are on that, sir. Would you please let me know? Um, this is very, very important. Our men and women, we say things like support the troops, and we don't support the troops. We say things like no soldier left behind. My son was left behind. I'd like to know what your thoughts are on this. Please bring it up during the debate. Veterans issues, it's going to win the White House. I think it's going to play a vital role in that. Oh, God bless. I miss my son.